Hey viewers, welcome to a preview of next week's battle. It's battle 16 of season 6. I've changed the format, as you know, how I'm uploading these. Normally I've been doing one major battle a month with a kill team battle in that same month, but I'm putting a preview in now just to give me that extra week because I'm starting to fall behind. At the moment I'm about to start battle 15. I'm editing battle 14 downstairs at the moment. I've just uploaded the end of battle 12, so battle 13 is next week, so I'm really only 3 weeks ahead, 4 weeks ahead, but I like to be 10 weeks ahead or more, just because it takes so long, and sometimes family commitments and things get in the way, and it takes so long to do that I just need to have a bit of extra time. Anyway, enough whinging. We're about halfway through season 6 at this stage. I really haven't got a number of battles in mind. I've got a loose outline of where what battles are actually going to happen, and I've got a pretty clear picture of how I want season 6 to end. So at this stage we've got really two scenarios that are going on. We've got Periculo, which is split into two, and we've got a demon version and a normal pristine looking feral world of Periculo, and we're really focusing on the demon world, and in there demons are everywhere, and the stragglers, the survivors, different chapters of the Adeptus Astartes and Imperial Guard and things like that around the place, just holding out against the tide of chaos. So they're basically being stamped out, and everything's being drawn towards the castle of Drea'Voor. So that is, my intentions were to go really deep into that castle and have a lot of different dungeon layouts, but I kind of got I didn't have the actual terrain to do a proper dungeon layout, so I've really just been patching it together. I've still got a few things up my sleeve, but I don't think I'll make it as elaborate as I thought I would. Anyway, once we get to the bottom of that, there's going to be a whole heap of stuff happen. Anyway, you'll have to watch that. That's going to be quite a while away yet before that actually happens. But anyway, going down through the dungeon, focusing on our key characters. We've got a new Inquisitor that's come on board. Our female Inquisitor's gone rogue at this stage, but she's not done with yet. She'll make a comeback. A new Inquisitor. I don't know if anyone can see the theme behind that Inquisitor. It's from a pretty obscure Ordos, and it kind of interacts with the whole history of the campaigns right back from season 3. I don't want to give too much into it because that's really where season 6 finishes, so we'll have to look at that. I've had a couple of comments. I think I've had Adam Fox in my ear just asking me a couple of questions. He was asking how I stay motivated. It's been 5 years, almost 6 years of doing this pretty much every day. But as far as my routine goes, I've got a full-time job essentially, and this is what I do in the spare time. And over the last 3 months, I've probably been focusing the time on another project which is going to interact with this channel, by the way, but that's really equivalent to a full-time job as well, so it's really essentially, I think, probably 3 full-time jobs moulded into one. Most of the time the nights finish with editing at around 2 in the morning, and I normally fit about 7 hours a day, pretty much every day of the week, onto the channel and painting and different things like that. So a lot of time in my mind. So once I finish this other project, which people will find out about in the next month or so, I should be able to settle down, and maybe I won't have to do these previews. I can go back to just making the videos, which will sort of be able to get ahead a bit more. So I really want to get quite a few battles ahead so I can take on bigger projects, because the battles no doubt could get bigger. which may be a good or a bad thing. Anyway, so that's pretty much where we're at this stage. We're about to start battle 15, so what we'll do is I've got a board set up over here at the moment. I haven't done the narrative introduction part at this stage, so we'll go and have a look at the board, and I'll explain it as we walk around it. So let's have a look. Okay, so this is our board that we're going to use for this battle. Now this is in the northwestern side of Periculo. There's a small town on the map which I'm not really sure of what the name of it is at this stage. I'll have to go and look at it, but the idea here is there's an Imperial Guard regiment that's basically sitting there holding out for a last stand. We've got some super heavies here, we've got a Titan over the side there. Now the plan is for this Titan to take a bigger role in these seasons, so it may or may not survive this battle, but my plan is if it dies, then I'll just make up a little storyline segment where he gets repaired by somebody, Adeptus Mechanicus, something like that floating around. But so I don't really know who's going to win this battle at this stage, obviously. So we've got a whole heap of troopers basically. They're in formation, or not quite formation. I couldn't really stick them on the board. So there's a mass of troops being rallied here inside this little house here, and the rest of the troops are really up the back. We've got some mortar crews just there. We've got the Titan there, like I said. A couple of super heavies in the middle, sentinels as well, and then over this side we've got some more mortar crews and some las cannons and things like that over this side. So they should be able to pack a fair punch. And those guys are up against a little obscure idea that I had, where we've got the Adeptus Mechanicus, who are obviously spending too much time on the Chaos world and have decided they want to help out fitting out a Khorne army. So obviously they're falling to Chaos. So a lot of our crews, for example, have a demon inside them to help them out. Not really strictly out of the codex, but that's what I've done. So we've got a couple of demons just infiltrating various Adeptus Mechanicus armies, units. So that's pretty much what we have. I'm not going to go through naming all the units. Essentially, I'll just give you a quick look over them. But really, we've got a mash-up of Khorne demon armies and the Adeptus Mechanicus. So there's another unit just there. So this board's a little bit unusual, and I really have trouble using it sometimes. It's a little bit too narrow and it's very long. So, right on turn one, we'll get people firing on each other, taking large chunks out, but it's long enough, so we'll see how that pans out. Over here in the deep strike section, we've got a bunch of demons ready to appear out of the skies, and all those guys for the Imperial Guard are sitting inside this super heavy here. So they'll no doubt pop out at some stage and see how that rolls. So this is battle 15. We'll see how that works out. Stay tuned, and we'll see the actual battle next week. Thanks for watching.